So this is how I was, this is what I think of when I think of Shawn Kemp, okay, as, growing up as a young gentleman that I am into adulthood, right? This is the memories I have of Shawn Kemp, very athletic NBA player, amazing dunks, okay, probably should have been more successful, but we know that it's a script, right? Uh, Also, he kind of reminded me of like Dominique Wilkins. Also, their athleticism and entertaining dunks and such. Dominique, the human highlight film. I think that was his nickname. And this is the Rain Man right here, Shawn Kemp. So, but I guess nowadays, I guess this is what his image is kind of portraying. You see him in the courtroom right here. Okay, and I'm just going to read here from the Associated Press. Former NBA star Shawn Kemp gets 30 days of home monitoring for Washington parking lot shooting. Okay, in this article, he's sentenced on Friday, so that's August 22nd. And let's just remember, as I record right now, it's Kobe Bryant's birthday. That's interesting because Kobe's got the K like Kemp, and it's four letters. Damn it. And I just thought of that. So we may have some more going on here, as we usually do, have a lot of things on the fly, right? But sentenced to 30 days of electronic home monitoring for a shooting. He shot at two men inside a vehicle in a Washington state mall parking lot. This incident was from 2023. Kemp must begin home monitoring within 2 weeks, the Seattle Times reported. He must also serve 1 year of State Department of Corrections supervision and complete a lot of hours of community service. We'll get into that more in a bit. Okay. Judge Michael Swartz of Pierce County Superior Court found the circumstances surrounding the crime warranted a lesser sentence, allowing Kemp to avoid incarceration. I'm trying to look at, I mean, man, 30 days of electronic home monitoring for a Washington for shooting for a shooting. I mean, were these people injured? Were these people injured? No one was hurt. Okay, but wow, 30 days? We need, you want any bad boys out there? You might want to move to Washington State. Kemp said he acted in self-defense though, okay? Returned fire after one of the men shot at him from inside their Toyota 4Runner vehicle. The defense also claimed that the two men Kemp shot at provoked the shooting. Okay. By stealing Kemp's truck, his cell phone, and memorabilia. Okay, so that kind of balances out, right? Using a phone tracking app, Kemp located and briefly tried to talk to the driver. Probably not a good idea. Of the forerunner that was circling a casino parking lot, according to the trial brief. The men in the vehicle afterward dumped some of Kemp's belongings, but hung onto the phone. All right, so that kind of makes a little bit more sense there. Here's the article, and I just barely put this together. At some point, I may pull up a video, but I want to show you this. His name is Shawn Travis Kemp Sr. Okay, American former professional basketball player. He played for the Supersonics, most known for, and he played for other teams not necessarily remembered for, but mostly for his time with the Supersonics. Check that out. Okay, so Shawn Kemp Sr. Look at that 48, 150, and 60 in the language. It's well established that Donald Trump equals 48 and 60. And I mean, it's not really a surprise that Donald Trump is connecting to everything right now. Look at that 150. That's kind of a recent thing, okay? Because it was a 150-day span. The guitarist Brent Hines of the band Mastodon, heavy metal band, also connected with Trump, right? Mastodon. Oh, I just noticed you get the H, the eighth letter, which connects with Trump there too, Hines and Harley. Anyways, look at that 150-day span from that death to that guy's birthday. I think he's like a guitarist slash singer or whatever. Look at the 150-day span from the death to his upcoming birthday. That's trending. I just dropped this. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, or whatever. But what are the odds that 150 is going to hit again? And these are like, bad stories, right? A death, and then, the shooting incident. It could have went a few ways probably, right? But, 30 days of home monitoring, that doesn't sound that bad. And they might have had some other minor things he's got to deal with. But look at that 150. This is a trending algorithm. This is trending, but it is my algorithm. The stuff's just kind of popping up. My algorithm and what I'm researching, it's not causing like major events and deaths and all of it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more going on here. Even Jake Joseph Paul is trending. Jake Paul, I just look at these are all just entertainers at this point, actors, celebrities. Look at he's fighting Gervonta Davis. That's amazing because now we're on Kobe Bryant's birthday as I speak right now. It's Kobe Bryant's birthday. RIP to the character. And Gervonta Davis's middle name is Bryant, right? So, and Kemp, remember, 4 letters like Kobe, and you got a basketball connection there. Check that out. Okay, but look at the 150. Jacob Joseph Paul, 150-day span. Brent Hines, from his death to his upcoming birthday, 150-day span. And now Shawn Kemp Sr., 150. Remember, Donald Trump equals 48 and 60 as well, connected to just about everything out there, under the sun, under the moon, in this fake world. Jake Joseph Paul, Gervonta Bryant. Did I say his name right? Gervonta Bryant Davis. Remember Anthony Davis played for the Lakers? So you get that Laker connection with Kobe, and you get the name Davis. There's probably more there, but you can't blame me if I don't catch all of it, right? And that guy died in a motorcycle crash. By the way, Kobe died in a helicopter crash. So, this guy dies 3 days before the Kobe birthday. I mean, I had no intentions of bringing up Kobe Bryant here until I remembered it was his birthday right now as I speak. Wow. Even Brent Hines died, uh, even his birthday 10 days before the Kobe Bryant death date. Obviously, different years. Kobe died January 26. So a lot going on here, huh? Now back to Shawn Kemp. You even get 133 even with Shawn Kemp. Look at that 133 in reverse right there. This incident, remember, was in 2023, and we're going to get into that more here shortly. All right, look at Shawn Kemp 133 in the reverse cipher. That also connects to the Brent Hines breakdown because August 20th, the day he died, left 133 days in the year. and President Government White House 133. So look at how that connects as well. Even though Kemp was sentenced on the day leaving 131 days Friday, you still get that 1 and you get that 3. Even remember politics. Oh, wow. Kobe Bryant and politics both equal 113. So Kobe has made his way into the equation here. And even the National Basketball Association equals 113. 13, right? An unlucky number. 13. Was it 13 original colonies? 13 stripes on the flag. Friday the 13th. That's interesting because this sentence was on Friday. Even though it wasn't Friday the 13th. That's just interesting on the fly right there. Okay. So now this is the meat of the decode right here. Okay? Did that sound funny? Look at this. Shawn Kemp was involved in this shooting incident March 3rd, 2023. Check that out. That's 3-8, and Shawn Kemp equals 38 in the reduction cipher. I mean, that's a very valuable slide right there. Look at that. And that was 14 weeks, 4 days after his November 26th birthday. 144 Washington parking lot shooting equals 144. And that's in 2 ciphers. Even kill equals 44. Nobody was killed. Kill equals 44, but shooting is related to kill, right? And what I meant to put in there is shooting equals 44. I think that's what I was going for there. Shooting equals 44. I'll go ahead and just show you that real quick right here. You see, I think that's what I was did I say that's what I was shooting for? You see shooting with the 44 right there. Okay? But nobody hurt. 14 weeks, 4 days. Ooh. I mentioned Kobe Bryant's death date, 126. Shawn Kemp's birthday, 11/26. Like 126. And this is trending on Kobe's birthday. Ooh. I had no intention of bringing that up. Now we get a little twist in this decode. Look at that. 11/26 is like 126. Kobe's death date, 126. Look at today's date. Kobe Bryant's birthday, fake world, and you get the basketball connection. Look at that right there. Wow. See, this doesn't mean you're going to find an article about Kobe and Kemp. Remember, both K's, 4 letters. This just exposes the language with all of these stories, okay? This exposes the language with all of these stories. It's the language that runs the world. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They taught us that little song in the alphabetic order right away and then stopped telling us about it. And then later on, we got to realize, hey, we've been deceived. And don't forget Gervonta Davis, like Anthony Davis, trending with the fight against Jake Paul. And you see his full name's got Bryant right there. And there's that Davis. Don't forget Anthony Davis's birthday. Look at that. 113, the 11th day of the 3rd month. There it is again. You see that? Right? And I'm not bragging or anything, but not everybody can do this. right? If we can only figure out a way, wouldn't that be amazing to earn a living off of this? That'll never happen in a fake world. Even some YouTubers, you think that would be able to make something like that happen? They even deceive us by talking about, oh, let's do this, and then it never happens. They're deceivers, right? They're just siphoning money off of people. They're no better than these celebrities. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a fake world, and the real truth will never other than putting the info out there, we're not going to get nothing out of it. That's why I do it out of a hobby myself. You like that connection right there? Man, I almost think that there was another Anthony trending recently too. So let me try to pull up a video on this now. Okay. Kemp sentenced. Man, that's a nice connection with the 4 letters, and you get the K like Kobe. So let's see if I can play a video here, okay? I'm trying to find one that's not too long. Let's go ahead and just. We're probably going to have to suffer through an ad, man. I'm not done either. We still got some slides, and I may play a couple of videos. I want to try to get some volume here.
Accept the responsibility for what I did. I should have used a better discretion.
Shawn Kemp addressing a judge apologizing for firing shots in 2023 towards people in a car in the Tacoma Mall parking lot. Those people were found with items stolen from Kemp, and Kemp said that's why he tracked them down, to get it back. He says he shot in self-defense and that shots were fired at him, a reason the defense brought up.
Based on what happened in the mall when he fired, given the totality of the circumstances, is there a basis to impose an exceptional sentence down? And I believe that there is.
The state argued Kemp approached the car with a gun, saying he had intention to use it. Also noting contradictory statements, they say
I can't say that I blame him if it's the script or if it's real or whatever. I can't say that I blame him. He really looks like Dominique Wilkins, okay? And later on, we find out the world's fake. And now it's like, damn, they were similar. I'm not going to say 100%, but I get Dominique Wilkins vibes. Vibes for sure. And usually if those vibes come about, there's something to it. Look, he's got the January 12th birthday. Remember, we had January 16 with that guitarist that died. Remember, connected to this story, we had that his birthday was January 16, which connected to the 11/26 birthday of Shawn Kemp. So that's kind of interesting. And obviously Donald equals 112. January 12, 112. That guy was in the band Mastodon. And look at this human highlight film. There's those double H's right there. Remember, the guy had H in his name, Hines, in the band Mastodon, and he died riding a Harley H. So I'm telling you, this stuff, everything is with the language, okay? Don't believe me, I don't care. But there's definitely some connections. Obviously, the human highlight film and the Rain Man. Let's put Rain Man over in the calculator real quick, which is Shawn Kemp. Man, there's that 82 and 28 I keep seeing, but let's go ahead and just put Rain Man. Okay, yeah, just a couple of those are just kind of minor connections. Nothing I really even want to bring up right now. Kobe Bean Bryant equals 81, and he scored 81 in a game. That's noteworthy for sure. And you know what? Look at that 135. This is Shawn Kemp's nickname. Look at that 135. I think Kobe Bryant equals 135. Or is it Bean? Kobe Bean Bryant equals 135. And there's that 81. I know I got the words mix there, but it's the same. Kobe Bean Bryant, 135 and 81. Look at that 54. 135, 81, and you get the 45s. Come on, man. Right? The trending on Kobe's birthday with that 1126, 126 connection. Do you think that's, I mean, I don't, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I think I'm recording. There's that birthday again, you see? Now check this out. Sentenced to 200, so 30 days home supervision. Is that what it said? Something like that? Home monitoring or whatever. And complete 240 hours of community service. Seattle Supersonics equals 240. Don't forget that the OKC Thunder won the NBA championship, and they originated as the Seattle Supersonics before becoming the Oklahoma City Thunder, okay? That's a low-key sacrifice right there. Sacrifice S, Seattle Supersonics, SS, Shawn S, Shooting S. I was going to get into that here shortly. That 240 right there is like 24. The 24th is tomorrow, and tomorrow's Kobe Bryant Day because he wore 24 on his jersey. And 8/24, he began his career wearing 8, one day after his birthday, Kobe Bryant Day. So look, a lot of that stuff is hitting on the fly right there. He's even born in 69. Prosecutors had recommended the 6-time NBA All-Star be sentenced to 9 months, which is 69. Even Seattle Supersonics equals 69 in the reduction cipher. I mentioned all the S's. Shooting S, Seattle Supersonics SS. You can add the Supersonics, another S, I guess. Shawn S, the shooting in 2023 in March. Okay. The 67th day of the year, that's the 19th prime number. S is the 19th letter of the alphabet. Even shooting in reverse, 109 like 19. His next birthday, 19 date numerology. Sentenced on a 19-day numerology as well, which was this last Friday. Come on, man. And this is just kind of a nice bonus connection here, okay? Judge Michael Swartz of Pierce County, Swartz S, but of Pierce County Superior Court, found the circumstances surrounding the crime warranted a lesser sentence, allowed Kemp to avoid incarceration. But look at that, Pierce County. Check this out. Right when I saw Pierce County, I was like, that's weird because I remember Ricky Pierce right here, who was on the roster for at least, I think, a couple of seasons with Shawn Kemp. Isn't that wild? Look at that. And Ricky Pierce's birthday was a couple of days ago. Check that out. Ricky Pierce's birthday, August 19th. You see him right there next to Shawn Kemp as teammates. Judge Michael Swartz of Pierce County. Man, you get a couple of S's in there, a couple more. Isn't that amazing? Look at that right there. Isn't that wild? I think that's pretty wild right there. I think that's pretty wild. Let me just pull something up real quick. Yes, Ricky Pierce and Shawn Kemp were teammates. You see that right there? With his birthday being a few days ago. Like, come on, that's just wild. And, you may think of Gary Payton also. Remember, all of this stuff is going to be connected, right? You may think of Gary Payton as well, nicknamed the Glove. Look at 1.9 rebounds. There's that 19 again. That's his final season with Miami. But when you think Seattle Supersonics, I mean, you really think of look at, he's got the middle name Dwayne, and he ended up his last season with Miami Heat like Dwayne Wade. You see that? Fake world. 13-year tenure with the Supersonics. There's another 13 right there. But these characters are, for the most part, you're going to find connections. It may not be something that pops. You know, you would have to kind of go through all of this right here. Look at Gary Payton's birthday. That's the day Michael Jordan's dad died, July 23rd. Obviously a different year, okay? And Gary Payton, I think, gave Michael Jordan the most problems. You know, this is the glove Gary Payton, right? And look at that. That's news to me. I did not know his birthday was the day Michael Jordan's dad died. Okay? And I think even Michael Jordan himself may have mentioned Gary Payton being like his toughest opponent or whatever. If that's not like an exact quote, I I guarantee you it's a fact, right? He even won an NBA championship with the Heat in 2006, like 26. Jordan equals 26. Look right here. He was selected to the NBA All-Star All Defensive First Team 9 times. There's that one and that 9. First team 9 times. Seattle Supersonics, S the 19th letter. See? An NBA record he shares with Michael Jordan. You see that? And another 9-time NBA All-Star. You see that? So, look, 190 pounds, 19. You see that? Even, isn't that wild? No coincidence, man. Look at all the green that's popping up now. There's a green. He played for the Celtics. Look, the Bucks got green, right? Obviously, the Supersonics with green. Right? It's just a fake world. But yeah, you know, you look into these characters, born in 68, basketball equals 68. Come on, man. Right? So I'm going to just try to play another quick video and kind of hope that we get some kind of hope that we get a little bit of volume. Or here, I'll play a little bit. I'll try to play a little bit of this. Got to muscle through the ad, right? Because you know we're gonna be influenced to buy something. I'm sure what they think.
5, a huge relief for former Seattle Supersonics star Shawn Kemp, who just learned he will not have to spend 9 months in jail. Kemp was sentenced today for firing shots in the parking lot of the Tacoma Mall back in 2023 during a dispute over stolen property. Good evening, I'm Molly Shen.
And I'm Preston Phillips. Prosecutors wanted Kemp to serve time in jail, but his defense attorney said the victims provoked Kemp and shot at him first. KOMO's Jeremy Harris live outside the Pierce County Courthouse this evening. Jeremy, Kemp had a lot of support there.
Well, and he had a lot on the line when he walked into the courthouse here in Tacoma today. He was facing the reality of spending potentially months in jail for this, but by this afternoon, he was able to walk out of the courthouse with his family. Now, this during a 3-hour sentencing hearing this afternoon. Prosecutors argued that Kemp unnecessarily fired 4 shots at men that he accused of stealing his cell phone. Kemp pleaded guilty to second-degree assault earlier this year, but his defense attorney said that not only did Kemp take responsibility for his actions, but the 2 men who he shot at were suspected of breaking into Kemp's car and stealing things, and also both had lengthy criminal records. Kemp said that he heard a shot come from inside their car.
All right, again, I don't blame the guy if all of that, whether what's legal or what's not legal. Did we hit with the 40? I almost forgot. I barely. Oh, that 40 is like 4 though, huh? 40 is like 4. Shooting 44. Washington Park parking lot shooting 144 and 2 ciphers, and it was 14 weeks 4 days. after his birthday. Okay. So, I mean, what do you think out there? Again, it's like we basically go back and forth, me, Richard West, and there's a couple other real people or who I believe to be real, um who are around, who appear to appreciate what I do here. But we basically just, we do this because we know we're right. We know we're right about the fake world. That slide says it all right there. Uh, you know, you can separate your you could separate people when you watch YouTube videos. You could tell what they're trying to push. You can tell what they're trying to hold back, okay? It has nothing to do with who's entertaining and who's providing the best information. That's not what it's about. I used to think that that's what it was about. It's not. You have to be affiliated with certain people who are also affiliated with certain people and certain groups who aren't necessarily on this side of the fence. But anyways, that's my key to kind of get out of here. I kind of sound like I'm babbling a little bit. But that stuff, this information is undeniable. That Kobe connection is massive. Again, today, Kobe Bryant's birthday, as I record August 23rd. Former NBA star Shawn Kemp gets 30 days of home monitoring and some community service for Washington parking lot shooting. Nice shoes, Shawn. Until next time.